Hello students, my name is Miss Bean and I'd like to welcome you to LES Math News. I'm reporting to you live today from Laurel, Delaware, and today we have a very special guest joining us to give us some helpful hints about when to use remainders and how to use them when we are solving division word problems. So right now I would like to introduce you to Mr. the one and only Sir Remainder. Thank you for joining us today. Well, hello, Miss Bean. Thank you for hosting me on this swell day. I'm supremely excited to share my division knowledge with the LES 5th graders today. So please tell us, what exactly is a remainder? Because I know a lot of our students, they've solved division problems, they know how to solve a division problem, but we haven't had a lot of division problems with remainders. So what is that exactly? Well, you see, sometimes when solving division problems, your answer, or your quotient, isn't always a whole number. The leftover amount is called a remainder. So, for example, if I was solving the division problem 50 divided by 4, 50 divided by 4, I'm going to see how many times 4, our divisor, goes into 50, our dividend. Well, I know that 4 goes into 5 one time, and I need to make that 10 times greater. 4 times 10 is 40. Subtract 10, or subtract and get 10. 4 goes into 10 2 times. So 4 times 2 is 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. I can't make 4 go into 2 a whole amount. 4 times a whole number will never get me 2. So what I'm left to do is add my top numbers, so 2 plus 10 is 12. And I'm going to use this as my remainder. So my quotient, or my answer, is 12 remainder 2. Okay, so I know your last name is obviously Remainder. Can you tell us what the first part of your name means? My name is Sir Remainder because remainders are so important depending on what kind of division problem you're solving. So if you spell the first part of my name, Sir, S-I-R are the letters. They stand for share, S, ignore, I, or round, R. So those are the three things that you can do with any remainder that you may find in a division problem. So, for instance, let me show you an example. Jumping back to our problem today, 50 divided by 4, let's pretend this is a word problem, okay? So, Abby, Anna, Amaya, and Ariana were very hungry for chocolate chip cookies. They went to their local bakery and bought 50 cookies, alright, to share equally between them. Now we know there are 4 girls, so 50 cookies split evenly between 4 girls. So, how many cookies does each girl get? In this scenario, you need to think of what letter would be the most appropriate. S, I, or R. Share, ignore, or round. Now, in this instance, because we are dealing with food, I can share a cookie, right? I can break a cookie and I can share it between 4 people. So in this instance, I'm using the S part of share. And that is because we can share cookies evenly. So in that case, what we would do is we would get rid of this R, and I would keep the 2 because I still have 2 left over. But what I need to do is I need to take my divisor, and this is actually a very cool trick. I'm going to take my divisor, and whatever my divisor is, that becomes my denominator. So that tells me how many people, groups I have, people or groups. And if I combine that with my remainder, each girl would get 12 and 2/4 cookies. Or we know that 2/4 is equal to 1/2. And if we simplify that, each girl gets 12.5 cookies. And we can write our label off to the side. Now, we need to think of it if that makes sense. Can I have half of a cookie? The answer is yes, and so we are able to share for this example. Oh, I think I get it. So if I solved a different type of problem, I would have to use a different strategy or a different part of share, ignore, or round. Okay, so I'll give it a try. So this is my problem. Mr. Snyder is planning a party for the 5th grade class. He bought 50 red and silver balloons, the environmentally friendly kind, and he has to put them on tables at the party. There are 4 tables at the party, and each table has to have the same number of balloons. No matter what, each table has to have the same number of balloons. So how many balloons can go on each table? Okay, so if I'm thinking of using remainder, share, ignore, or round, I need to think of one of the letters that will work with this kind of problem. Now, if I look at S, share, if I think of a balloon, now I don't have any actual balloons, but I do have this little water balloon. Can I share a balloon? I know we can share the cookie. So if I take this balloon and I want to split it into 4 pieces, I mean, I can do that, right? And I can cut it up again so it's in 4 pieces, right? No, it's not going to blow up. So I can't share a balloon. Not all things I can share. I can't split it apart evenly. Okay, what about round? R. Can I round up to 13 balloons? No, because I don't have another balloon. Yeah, I don't have another balloon. I can't get rid of any balloons. I mean, I can't get rid of the 2 that I have. I can't take them back to the store. So let me think of the second letter, I, ignore. So for this type of problem, we would use I for ignore because we can't share a balloon, as we said, and I can't add more balloons that I don't have or take them back, so I can't round. So what I have to do is ignore. So I'm going to have to say each table gets 12 balloons, and then those other 2 I'm just going to ignore. So they're just not going to go on the 4 tables. They'll stay in my car, or they'll stay in a classroom or something. But I'm just going to ignore them so that 12 balloons go on each table. Ignore. I think I got it. Yes, exactly. You're getting the hang of it, by golly. So the last one, well, as you just mentioned, is R for round. Now, all of us need to know how to round numbers up or down, which we usually can do. You know the saying, 5 or above, give it a shove, 4 or below, do something else. I forgot what it is. But if it's 5 or above, we know that's when we're supposed to round up. When it's 4 or below, we know we round down. Well, rounding with fractions is a little bit different, or rounding with a remainder is a little bit different than that. So watch and I'll show you. Our word problem this time, Miss Bean and Miss Martin planned the field trip of the century to go to see Paw Patrol on ice. I hear it's a rave. So the school is sending 50 teachers and students on the field trip. 50. Adults and students. All together, 50. The school is not able to send buses, so they have to take cars. Now, only 4 people can fit in each car. So 50 people total, only 4 fit in each car. How many cars do they need to take so that all 50 people can go on this field trip? Now, we have to round because it's pretty difficult, well, and illegal if we think of share. So in SIR, S-I-R, share, I have 12 remainder 2, so I would need 12 remainder 2 cars, which doesn't make sense. For one, because like we said, I can't split up a person and put them in a car. Like, your arm goes in this car, your leg goes in that car. We don't want to be splitting people up. And secondly, I can't split a car. I can't take a remainder 2 car. That doesn't make sense. So what I need to do is, well, I can't share. I also can't ignore this time, because I can't leave little Wanda and Enrique back at school. They have to go on this field trip. So the only thing we can do is round. Now in this instance, we can't round down because those two children have to go on this trip. So what we have to do is round up. Now, this means I'm taking 12 cars. If I have 2 extra people and I have 12 cars, I need to take another car. So in this instance, how many cars do I have to take? The answer, if I round up, should be 13 cars. Because 13 cars is going to fit those extra people. Well, Sir Remainder, I can't thank you enough for being on our show today. And I know I learned a lot, and I'm sure our students learned a lot about sharing, ignoring, or rounding our remainders. And I certainly hope that this week we can put some of those strategies to practice. All right, guys, thank you for watching and have an excellent day. This is Miss Bean with the LES Math News with Sir Remainder joining us today. Well, I would like to thank you, Miss Bean, so much for having me and LES 5th graders. It was great to see you here on LES Math News, and I hope I can see you again very soon. Good luck with your dividing, and remember, if you ever have any questions, ask Miss Bean or your teacher, and don't forget, Sir Remainder, share, ignore, round. Have a great day.